Hi, everybody, and welcome. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Thursday. It's been hot out there. So we'll get started right away today. For those that are new, my name is Robert O'Keefe. I am the creator and founder of Over 55 NJ. And specifically, why we designed this site is to help individuals downsize, start planning ahead, and start making educated decisions when it comes to all their downsizing needs, which tends to be a cumbersome process sometimes, right? We speak to tons of people that just don't know where to start. So we kind of provide that bridge. And the reason we set up this site is so folks can start getting some ideas, start planning ahead in a very casual and relaxed sort of way. So we have tons of great resources. We have a lot of great content for you and a great webinar for you today. Let me just make sure that we're all good here and that we're live. And if you have any questions, feel free just to drop them in the comments. We thrive on just the community feedback. So just reach out to us with any questions or any thoughts or any topics that you want covered. So if you haven't joined our group yet, just definitely check that out as well. Our group is over55nj.group. It's just a great resource for individuals to, let me just get rid of my call here, for individuals just to start networking with each other and start to get some ideas as well. We have a lot of great content there. If you want to go to our site, you can go to our site at over55nj.homes, and you can start looking around and start to get some ideas on some listings and things of that nature, and start saving some listings. That's usually a great place to start. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat here. Just going to send someone a quick message and then we can get started right away. Let's see. Eugene. Sorry, someone's in the field and just needs my help. Call him there. Okay, so let's get started today. Today we're going to talk about a topic called downsizing versus aging in place and which one's right for you. So this is a common question we get. We help a lot of people in a lot of different situations, and there's pros and cons to really anything, especially downsizing and aging in place. So what I want to talk about today is what it may be right for you and the pros and cons of doing both options. So today, what we're going to talk about is it's not here. I'm at. Sorry, just dealing with a little bit of an emergency here. It's the can you make sure community. Sorry, someone literally needs me right now. If you have any questions, feel free just to drop them here. I'll be right back, gang. Okay, sorry about that. I just had a little bit of a crisis to handle. So obviously, this is a live show. We'll start to edit this out during the recording here, but appreciate everyone sticking with us. So we were talking about downsizing versus aging in place. We're going to give you some pros and cons to each method. There's no right or wrong answer. A lot of times, with everything, especially in this type of niche, it depends on your individual situation. We always invite you to reach out to us in advance and start getting some ideas on paper of what the best option is for you. And one of the key secrets behind this is you want to be thinking in advance, not just what your needs are today, but your needs down the line. So think about your current home, think about um, the things you use in it, but also think and imagine yourself 5, 10 years ahead of time and think about what it would be if it would be prudent to start to get ahead on this. We're going to go into the problem and context. The problem is a lot of people are really attached to their homes. Makes a lot of sense. I'm attached to my house. I've only been in my house in probably a much shorter period of time than a lot of our customers have, but I'm still very attached to it and I absolutely love it. So we speak to some customers that have been in their houses for 20, 30, maybe 40 years. I was speaking to someone just the other day that they love their neighborhoods, they love their neighbors. So there's a lot of emotional attachment to this. And the problem is that just compounds when it comes to making big life decisions. So there's pros and cons to everything. Uh, whether it's aging in place or whether it's starting to downsize and plan the next move. We're always here as a guided resource for you and always here to help you make a solid, educated decision when the time comes. So let's just go into the top three things to consider because these will start to give you a foundation and start to give you things to think about in advance when it comes to making these big moves. The first is obviously your home's long term practicality. Ask yourself these questions. Is the layout easy to navigate long term? Like we said before, you want to be thinking 5, 10 years ahead. Are those stairs a little bit more challenging for you? And how much does it take? How much will it cost to install a stair lift? What if you're alone if something happens? These are some tough questions you want to be asking yourself way ahead of time, before it's time and before it's too late. Are there stairs that may be too difficult later? Stairs are a big one. We see a lot of people make the mistake of buying second floor units, whereas they should have been thinking ahead and buying first floor units with no stairs. How much maintenance does the home require? We talk about this a lot that when you downsize, a lot of HOA communities will cover your snow and grass cuttings. So these are big savings for a lot of places, especially if you have a big lawn and a big property line. We find maintenance and landscaping has really gone up with inflation. And another thing to consider is would modifications eventually be needed? So things like stair lifts, ramps, things of that nature. These are all things to consider when aging in place. So the biggest thing we see is a lot of times is location. People wanting to be by their family members, but also the practicality of their home. You want to be thinking 5, 10 years ahead of in advance when it comes to making these decisions. Now, there's a lot of benefits to it aging in place, right? A lot of people and some people joke that they want to be taken out of their house feet first, which is more than okay. Obviously, there's a lot of emotional attachment there. You're very familiar with it, and people want to stay in their homes and surroundings as long as possible. But always be thinking ahead and always be trying to think down the line, especially when you're 5, 10 years. Imagine yourself 5, 10 years older. You want to be thinking about these things in advance and not just today. The second thing to consider is your lifestyle and daily priorities. One of the most common reasons we see people move is because they want to be closer to family members. They want to be involved in their grandchildren's lives. They want help and they want a safeguard if someone is, if God forbid, they need help with something. So it's very important to kind of consider um, your lifestyle and daily priorities. Familiar, some owners will value familiar surroundings. They like where they live. Others like staying near longtime neighbors. This is actually kind of a funny one. And I was speaking to someone the other day who said that they absolutely love their neighborhood and they love their neighbors. And before in their previous house, they didn't like their neighbors at all. So it could be like a kind of like a funny thing. I mean, personally, I absolutely love my neighbors in my neighborhood, so I could definitely see that could be a strong reason to stay, especially if you have help and especially if you have people that you rely on when it comes to certain things. Remember, whatever community you decide, you're going to probably have to rebuild some of these relationships. So if you have some existing relationships in place and some people that you care about that you live near, these are reasons to stay in place as well. Then, of course, obviously, what we talked about is the emotional connection to the home. Some of these decisions are tough, just leaving a home and leaving memories that you've built up over the years, especially if you raise kids and been in your home how many years. It's very, very difficult in a lot of cases. We see a lot of people get very emotional when they leave, and it's all very understandable. But the new excitement of replacing and just doing a new place kind of outweighs that. And we find change could be really good and really exciting in a lot of places. So some other exciting changes, speaking of that, is less maintenance, more flexibility. You'll be surprised how much money you have more in your bank account if you're not paying a mortgage, if you're not paying a higher tax bill, and also the utility bills get a lot lower. So that could be a huge stress reliever, and that could be very exciting. We see people downsize and they have so much more freedom to travel, to do things, to visit family members. We were speaking to someone that was going on an African safari, which is really exciting. So there's all different types of things when it comes to downsizing and things to also get excited about. Always hold on to the memories, but change could be very exciting. And going to a new place that meets all your needs could be very, very exciting, especially when it comes to your financial needs and just freeing up your bank account. Just generating a whole bunch of money from the sale of the house. The New Jersey real estate market is on fire. So this could be a relief in a lot of people to liquidate their asset and to replenish a lot of their cash. So these are all very important things to think about when it comes to your lifestyle, daily priorities, and especially start planning ahead and start thinking about things that you want to do in these years of your life. One of the biggest tips is the best decision supports not just where you live, but also how you want to live. So this is a time just to get a canvas, get a piece of paper, and just write down a bunch of ideas and dream big. Now, the last tip we're going to give you is your financial picture and future flexibility. So think about your ongoing maintenance costs when it comes to aging in place, your future renovation expenses, and your higher utility costs. One of the benefits to aging in place is the step up in basis rule. Now, quick disclaimer: we're not tax advisors, but if you pass away with your property, that property steps up in basis for your heirs, and no capital gains tax will be owed. So this is something to think about when it comes to just when it comes to passing on your house to your next heirs. Now, there's capital gains exclusion rules we can go to in another show. And again, we always invite you to talk to your CPA about this. But it's a good reason to stay in place as your property will step up in basis and reset and wipe out the capital gains there. So that's very important and something to consider when it comes to making these bigger decisions. Downsizing may offer lower monthly expenses, access to home equity, like we spoke about, and simpler financial planning and a simpler lifestyle. What we say is compare your long term financial comfort, not just your short term costs. So start thinking ahead on this. The AI programs are really great for this. You can plug in your whole financial data and ask it questions. You could always Google and do your own research and always talk to a financial advisor about these things. But there's a lot of great reasons and a lot of great ways just to start plugging things in, start making a really educated decision and not just an emotional one. Um, so that being said, we always invite you to reach out and get in touch with us. Every individual plan is different, so feel free to reach out to us and talk to us and ask us any questions. If you want to send us an email, our email address is over55nj@gmail.com. You can send us a direct message. We're very easy to talk to, very easy to start planning these conversations ahead of time. If you need access to someone in our network, we have a huge network. We had a customer reach out to us about assisted living facilities. We have a great contact for that. And we're always happy to put you in touch with people. There's a great book called Not How, But Who. So a lot of times you can just make much better decisions by talking to competent people, competent human beings, and not a computer or a chatbot that can point you in the right directions and start to humanize with you and start building a plan. So always reach out to us. We had another person we talked to this week that was probably a year or two out. That's exactly the type of time frame we like working with. And just don't hesitate to read in touch and get don't hesitate to reach out and get in touch with any questions with us. If you have a topic that you want covered, we'd love to hear about it. Feel free to reach out to us as well and let us know if anything is of interest so we can start covering that for you. Make it a great day. We'll see you on the next video. And thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.